The Gragas is interesting. Showmaker LeBlanc.
There we go.
I mentioned it earlier on in the series. If that's one that you can definitely pop off and carry on. I'm not seeing a ton of frontline for this Seri in this draft, but hold on, we'll wait and see. Like Shiyu, it's certainly not an warning.
Could also work.
This is
they're pretty good at killing tanks, right? But instead, the Jax is what they're going to consider.
Yeah.
That does add some frontline. And there are some champions that do like to auto-attack in this game. That's an Akali lock-in. Closer has decided that this is how this is do or die, right? He's gonna have a good time. Onto the Rift for game number 4. And on screen at the very beginning, didn't really want to talk about this, but Beryl's been having a rough day. And now he's playing Lulu again. And last time he did that, it wasn't great.
Yeah, can we get the style of the lower third of the last time Beryl played Lulu?
No, let's not do that. As Beryl's just going to face check Morgan, Polo, and Hype. As, sometimes 2 to 3 items to really feel comfortable. As Lucid,
it doesn't check.
Yeah, just barely not seen. And Lucid actually was paying attention towards his bottom side of the map. Now it's going to be a 2v2 and a 1v1. As now Polo getting chased down, aiming though, going a little bit aggressive is Hype. Not going to flash for it, but does get aiming's flash for his trouble. We're running out of summoner spells. As Lucid's also running out of position on the map. As things are looking a little bit confusing. Standing on top of the board right now as Beryl's moving up. We'll see whether the LeBlanc can move down, as Showmaker might need to help out, and he is going to be able to get down there. All right. The pros will be able to claim their prize in form.
As Lucid is coming over, but so is Croco, and we're going to just 3v3
It's the same play. It's exactly the same play all over again. This time, though, Lucid is going to have an added advantage because his mid laner is roaming down. This control ward going to get cleared out as Lucid. He's the one that face checks, immediately finds the stun onto Croco.
Closer's here too now.
Yeah, Flash does have to be burnt here. Showmaker does put him on a leash. Now Closer finding a bit of an angle. Yeah, we do have an immediate rotation over though.
Hollow is like 1 ward if they still give XP away from 6, but he doesn't have it. So unfortunate for him.
Yeah, Beryl also doesn't have wild growth though. Both of them.
They're 6.
Yeah, pretty important as now there's the Grand Starfall. Hollow does find the knockup though, and immediately Lucid is taken down so incredibly low. But First Blood goes over to Showmaker. Finally, Closer is able to lock that one down, just presses R on the Pantheon, but has to use it to get himself out. And now DK with control of the area. Now we've got some ults flying out on the bottom side.
Kills on the junglers, mid laners, the ones who receive them, as Showmaker's in trouble.
Yeah, Closer actually going to be able to find an angle here as he does go into his shroud, but Lucid's found him. Now Showmaker having to flash away from the Akali, who does have the passive prepped, and there it is. Solo kill for Closer. And Lucid may not actually win this one as the Shuriken backflip is going to connect. And Lucid gives him a good old thumbs up as he slinks into the jungle, not wanting to go for the 1v1. But in the meantime, Croco is on the dragon. And Lucid's just going to have to go over.
I don't know about if you really want to find an Akali here.
Well, he does find him regardless. As 2 seconds, Showmaker is now back up again as he's just dead. So that is going to be an execution.
Yeah. But everything else here just continues to be a very close game. 2 grubs do get picked up here eventually for D+ after it as, Shiyu.
Shiyu was kind of looking for it. It's kind of crazy. Health bar pretty low.
He did have advantage, yeah.
Grandmaster's Might is up and available
Croco though.
Yeah, looking to make his way in. There's the Cataclysm to start it off. He does get stunned, but thankfully he
make a play here, but doesn't quite have his ultimate back up just yet.
Okay, here comes Showmaker. There's the Wild Growth engage from Beryl. Pop Blossom going to pick up the Lulu, but Hype is in no position to deal damage. Aiming, locking down the kill, but the Shuriken backflip doesn't connect onto the Zeri. Perfect execution's exactly that though from Closer as Morgan's underneath the turret. Showmaker, I don't know whether he's going to be making his way out of this one. He's going to see what he can do as he goes back to the ulti, but there's just too many here. And Lucid, way too late, as Morgan can tank this one up for long enough. Closer. Aiming needs to be a little careful. Bit of a poke war. Still fishing for a little more, but now we've got an ult in from Lucid. Diving right on top of Hype, who goes on the hunt. So, like you were talking about, if this Herald is going to get contested, you best hope that, okay, in goes aiming, finding an angle here as Hype, one more order, the flash does get aiming in there. The wild growth to keep him alive. Can he skate his way out? Does he even want to get out as he gets so much of his health back? And DK find a pivotal fight just before the potential Herald.
That's just such a massive play there from aiming and barrel, and they're looking for more!
Oh, in goes Showmaker, just surfs his way through. Certification question mark. I mean, it was looking a little bit dire.
I mean, I considered it for sure.
저 잡아볼게.
I'm gonna try to look for it.
Well, he did.
Got it.
전령아 전령.
And then any of you could describe those fights. Okay, this could be a scenario where.
Oh wait! Yeah, Closer going to be able to find him here, and aiming is really dead.
Okay, well they.
Why was he there?
Caster curse? Oh, like look at the mini map and tell me that Bro have an opportunity. Croco's finding one.
Yeah, Croco gets him. The Pop Blossom comes down, but aiming just tops the wall. He does have to ghost, has to use flash, gets the wild growth. Lucid also has to flash, but that wasn't. And that was his fault, I guess, as now he's going to dive on top of Hype. Now he's dead, though. Hype going to be able to lock down that kill. Now Showmaker does get the spell shield out from Hype. Shiu on a flank angle, though, as Morgan immediately turns onto him. Showmaker going to try and stop the follow-up, but he still gets pulled back on the hunt. Going to come on through here is Showmaker gives Shiu a target, but it's not exactly the greatest. Now Morgan looking for an angle as the Dragon has been pulled out. A fight on multiple fronts now, but Hype gets back to the rest of the three. Showmaker continuing to be annoying though, and Morgan is put on a leash. Showmaker's taking Morgan for a walk. And okay, now Lucid and Croco battling it out. It's going to be about this smite to see whether the Infernal Soul's coming in, but the Zeri's already starting to pop off. Morgan gonna go down. It's a bloodbath. They get the Infernal Soul, but they get nothing else. And Croco gonna try and make his way out with his life, but I just don't think it's going to work as Showmaker connects the chains. Down he will go. That's the ace. And now let's see what DK can go. Can they just win the game?
I think so. I think it's just done. They went for the fight. They went for the collapse, but Showmaker said no. And D+ continue the run, keeping their chances alive here. Bro, no one to respawn. And I suppose here in Game 4, Digon, it's truly Brover.
It is unfortunately Brover for this year, but remember, we will have a plan. That Brotax will still make it, as DK they will too. Now up against Nongshim for that last spot in the playoffs. DK keep themselves alive.
DK make it to the final day of play-ins tomorrow, keeping their chances and hopes alive. This team that has always shown up
in this series.
This is like, Braum was okay, kind of.
No.
No, it really wasn't. But I'll spoil it. I voted for Lucid. I thought he had a pretty good performance across the games, and the Zed performance in particular was so series-defining for me. I would agree with the Trundle, so I went for Lucid.
He didn't abuse an item as well.
Look at Hype just die here. Boom.
The dash from aiming as well. Like, we were talking about the fact that the Nico is so important for locking down the Zeri. Guess what? Didn't lock down the Zeri. And then, bro, go for an age-old classic. The Soul for Nexus trade. We will have to ask them whether it was worth it after this.
I thread that beat like a needle through cloth. Stitch 2 kicks and I tie it off. Flip that snare like a coin I toss. Heads we move, tails get lost. Call me a